I never forgot that he bullied me. Many years ago I was a scout. In my country it's for both boys and girls. IF-11 was in a group of 5-6 kids, and so was this boy M12 who was from my school. He was in the grade over mine. We both liked chess and to read and even shared the same last name. So when he asked to borrow a series of pocketbooks that my older brother gave me, I said yes. But then, all of a sudden he changed, and got really hateful. He didn't want to return my books, he called me bad names, and was a real jerk about it. A few weeks went by, and when I realized he really wasn't going to return the books, I told my older brother, and he called the guy, threatened to tell his parents, and then he finally returned the books. But that wasn't the end of it. The bullying got so bad, that I decided to drop out of the Scouts. But I had been a scout long before him, since I was 6 years old, and 2 of my scout leaders turned up at my house, to talk to my parents about it. They promised to change the groups, so I wouldn't have to be around that boy anymore. I guess it worked, because I was a scout until I was around 14. A few years went by, and I moved out, and got a room in the nearest bigger city. One morning, around 3 or 4 a.m., on my way home from clubbing, I met the guy again. He was happy to see me, because he had been out drinking with some friends, and had somehow gotten lost, and everything was closed by now. The next bus to the village wasn't scheduled before 9 a.m. He asked if he could crash at my place. I just said tough luck bro, you're on your own, and then I went home alone. How he spent the next 4 or 5 hours before he could get on the bus, I don't know, but I'm glad I got my petty revenge. I wouldn't let a drunk bully into my home for any reason. I wouldn't trust him to be a gentleman even while sober, let alone drunk. Then he could try to blame bad behavior on the being drunk, and or some version of she let me in her home, she must have wanted it. Nope. Forget that, not gonna happen. He can go find a hotel somewhere, because he's not coming through my door. 1. Never lend more than 1 book at a time to the same person. 2. Since he wasn't your friend, it was audacious of him to expect to stay at your place. What happened to his drinking buddies that he couldn't stay with them? You did the smart thing. Yeah, you don't owe him anything. Also, funny that he was out with some friends in this strange town and yet they ditched his friends or shit. You're a woman living alone presumably and bump into a known man in the street who was intoxicated. Thank goodness you had your smarts with you and declined him. Lots of crime shows start with a similar story, even in real life. Goodness knows what kind of drunk this man is. Glad you are safe. Bullies have this weird distorted reality that what they put others through was good fun for both. Karma. Those scout leaders frustrate me so much. You run a kids' social club, put some games out and don't allow bullying, that's 99% of the job. It's 5-6 kids, how hard is that? If one kid quits because of bullying, you fucked up. Also, this isn't a time to just separate the kids, that's the time to suspend the bully and tell the parents that you can try again next month to see if his attitude improved, but you're not risking scouts quitting for one bully. Great example of how bullies don't take their own actions seriously and effortlessly let bygones be bygones. Yeah, easy for them. Also, I love your opportunity and the fact way that you took it. It would have been beyond dangerous to let him in even if he wasn't a bully. You did great. LMFAO, tough shit, Cookie, I love it. Good call. In grade school and junior high a boy bullied me. Name calling, aggressive behavior, which escalated into him punching me a few times. He went to a different school for high school, and then we went to college on opposite coasts. I ran into him on the street in our hometown a few years after college, and he fell all over himself hitting on me. I was polite but uncomfortable, and again we went our separate ways. I heard he got married, had a couple of kids, and then was arrested and convicted for violently raping and seriously injuring a woman he worked with. Once a bully. Sounds like a dangerous person. Nice until he got something he wanted, then no need to bother. You didn't just get satisfaction, you dodged a bullet. I'm sorry you had to go through that to begin with. I'm almost more sorry that idiots are going well. I wouldn't class this as petty revenge. I'm glad you got some closure from it and that's all that matters. I would have responded, why, so you can bully me some more, kick rocks until the bus comes in 4 hours. So drunk he expected a bullying victim to let him crash? Nah, bro. Park benches and newspaper for you. I wouldn't let some random guy I hadn't seen since I was 11 crash at my place even if he wasn't a bully. I'm also not a woman. Nothing about this says revenge to me. I'm not sure what country you're from, but scouting is open to all genders in the US now as well. I know it wasn't when you were growing up. But it's nice to see girls have the same opportunities to learn scouting skills as boys now. I'm such a naive, forgiving pushover. I would have been dead in your shoes. To be clear, I'm no saint. Those are horrible qualities that vex my family and friends who actually care about me. It's caused a lot of problems. I have so much respect for people who, while being as kind as can be, don't take shit, and forgive nothing. I'm gay, but the closest I've ever been to being turned on by a woman was a girl I worked with. She was really nice, but she had a cutthroat vibe. I'm convinced that she's going to be president one day. I'm as scared of her as I admire her. You may enjoy the premise S1 EP5. It's available on Hulu and touches upon a similar subject. I had a bully who actually changed. In 6th grade he was mean to me. I left that school system in 9th grade and moved through a few other ones. Met him again when I went back to the school system for my senior year. He was like a completely different person. A lot nicer. Petty would be calling police to report a drunk at 3-4 a.m., who is accosting women who are alone. Actually, that isn't petty, but laughing and gloating about it would be. You aren't being petty, but I would be. No way he forgot, but he was drunk. You definitely made the right choice. You may have met his kids, but you don't know each other anymore, so better safe than sorry. The only thing I would have been willing to do for him is call the police. No way I'd let him in my house. Especially drunk. Well done you, party face, GD bullies, angry face. Why would you let a drunk man you barely know that you just met on a street stay the night at your place? That's self-preservation and you are smart. Well played. Let him lump it. You did the right thing. It would be unsafe to let essentially a stranger into your home. Also, he should have planned his trip outing better, and it's completely his fault that he's stuck without a ride. Also, I bet it felt so good going to bed that night knowing you were able to get him back after all these years. You're much more forgiving than me. I would have walked him to the bus stop and kept him company until morning, perhaps buying a few more beers during the night, then made absolutely sure he had a paid ticket and seat on the bus going to next small remote village in the opposite direction of his home. That is, unless during the wait he confessed to being in a hole and asked forgiveness, then he goes home. I commend you not choosing violence. Prob was for the best. I also feel he chose violence for you back in the day, so the setup was there to smack him with a diamond cutter. And I'm confused ABT the two fellas coming to your house. 1. I didn't think they were to ever be discussed, and 2. How do you remember they were at your house? They didn't use the pen light flasher thing on you? Awesome, well done. My guess is he had a crush on you. Us guys have a hard time communicating in a healthy way, especially when young, so it can come out aggressive and hurtful like what he did. So you have the satisfaction of crushing his dream as well, smiley face. Now, I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but that wasn't petty at all. What you, my friend, displayed was having actual boundaries. I mean, fun story, but not that petty in the long run. Life though. Revenge would have been giving him a bumper kiss with the car. There is nothing about this that is revenge. Boo woo, grow up op. You're such a baby Lamau.